Discus lariat.
The huge suplex.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to a new edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hey, Chief, are we missing something?
No.
We're not? Yeah, it seems like everything's perfectly fine right now.
Man, look, you got half, and I got half. Ain't that perfect?
Yeah.
That's Mr. Perfect.
Aaron's out on assignment at Lake Havasu enjoying the extreme sun and water.
He's on a wait. He's on a pontoon boat supposedly
if
right now.
If there's an assignment on a lake, shouldn't we send the squid?
We could. I could find his ass.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
Ain't no problem. Anyway, folks, it's good that we're here today.
Catch us on WWDB TV's YouTube channel, Facebook page, our Facebook page,
Twitter, all that.
Everywhere. We're everywhere.
And the telephone number if you want to call in to see us and talk to us, 702-992-3207.
Hey, hit all them 10 digits in a row and you get a hold of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, anyway, shall we get started, my good man?
You guys want a story time or you want rumors?
You want to do story time first? You want to do rumors? I don't care. You tell me. What do you want?
Let's do some story time.
All right.
I got a good one.
Mr. Producer, it's time.
You want to do story time?
People on Fremont are wild this week.
It's story time with Matt.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen, the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
I don't know.
The neighborhood was kind of wild this week.
How wild was it?
Well, I was in my office and I hear all this honking. And my office is right off Ogden and 4th Street. So I go out the loading dock and I was like, why is everyone honking? And there's this entire line of cars and there's 10 people honking at the first car. So I get over there and I'm like, why isn't this car moving? The light's turning green. And this girl's passed out in the car. And I was like, great. So I knock on the window. She's passed out drunk. Well, I called 911 and I was like, hey, I need Metro here quickly. So we're waiting. One of the bike guys comes. It's the security downstairs. And he was like, we're putting stuff in front of her tires in case she tries to take off.
So that.
Yeah. And then the marshals showed up. They're pounding on the window. Nothing at all.
Did you try to see if the door was unlocked?
No, they were locked. We tried that.
Okay.
And then eventually she... one of the cops grabs something and they get something to open the door. The fire department came and they have the unlocking thing.
Right.
And the one cop's I'm going to go in the passenger side and I'm going to grab her keys. Because as soon as he opened the door, he's I'm going to put it in park. Because her foot was on the brake.
Oh, jeez.
And as soon as he opened the door and he put it in park, she woke up and slammed on the gas. But luckily it was in park already.
Yeah. So
by the time they got the other door open, it just ripped her out of the freaking car and she went to jail for DUI.
I wondered why I hadn't seen her the last couple days.
I'm surprised that for cases like that you don't have one of those long sticks that with the thing on it that you can break the window.
Metro and stuff does. We can because it's a liability issue. If a security guy breaks your window or something,
well,
the company's liable to fix your stupid car.
Wow. No.
Metro does it. You're just shit out of luck.
At least she's safe.
Yeah.
At least she didn't hurt anyone.
True.
Unfortunately, though,
If you're going to drunk drive, I guess the best case scenario, you fall asleep at a red light.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll speak real quickly from experience. When I used to
Don't incriminate yourself, whatever you're about to say.
how many times have I talked about it? So I ain't incriminating myself anyway. But I mean, when I did drive years ago,
Yeah.
if I was too drunk to drive, I always got a ride. And one time, and this is the truth, one time that I did not get a ride, and I ended up pulling into a parking lot, putting it in park, turning it off, locking the doors. The police came, knocked on the car. I opened it up, and they saw that I was drunk, and they took me to jail. Only time I ever been taken to jail.
Damn.
So, but the next day they released me on my own recognizance, and it was okay.
Yeah.
Didn't have to worry about anything. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Let's get to some wrestling stuff.
Let's do it.
The hell with the drunk people of
Yeah.
Fremont.
Are you ready to do some wrestling there? Wise one. I ain't got no lights on today. Thank you very much.
Well,
I appreciate that
you're so white, we didn't need the lights.
very well.
It's time for some I Hear Voices. Let's do the rumors.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ronda Rousey is apparently done with WWE. They had to speed up her storyline with Shayna Baszler. Apparently, she's going to be done with WWE right either before or at SummerSlam. What'd you think of Ronda's time in WWE?
I think, and this is me personally, at first I liked her gimmick when she came out with Piper's jacket on and that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think The Rock, I think Stephanie and Triple H built her up for that little run-in segment they had.
Yeah.
That set her career off, in my opinion, well, and it's just gone from there. I was very surprised to see Shayna do what she did. However, I think Shayna's the better wrestler, and if she wants to go back to UFC, hey, go back to UFC. You got the Chiefs' blessing. The one thing I didn't realize, though, Matt, is how good of friends she is with Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, yeah, I'd imagine she is.
And I'm surprised that Steph's not trying to possibly talk her out of not re-signing. But, hey, you know, she does have the little one now. They've got the farm, and, so there is a lot of responsibility there. So,
True, I think she's tired of traveling with WWE because it's a lot more like road travel compared to like UFC. If like you're a big UFC name, you can like do all the gym stuff at your own house and do all that kind of stuff. So she can be on the farm more. You only have to travel like a couple times a year to actually fight. And now that Amanda Nunes is gone, who knocked her out, maybe she realized division's a little easier. Maybe I can go back.
I'd like to see, if she does go back UFC, I hope who's the guy that owns it?
Dana White.
Dana White.
He's the president.
I hope Dana allows her maybe if something could be worked out to where she may come back maybe once a year unannounced or twice a year unannounced and just does a pop in like Cena did over in London. I think that might be okay.
Yeah.
All right. But I don't think she wants to be in the ring anymore. Just my opinion.
Sure.
So.
Speaking of women wrestlers, there's a lot of rumors that Mandy Rose is returning to WWE, but somebody internally in WWE shot those rumors down cold.
Vince?
I don't know who, but
I can't imagine it was Vince.
I don't think she's going to come back until she takes like that, is it fan time site down or something?
I got to be honest with you. I've never looked at it. I don't know what she has. I don't care what she has. I guess from what I've heard, she's made a lot of money off of it.
She made $1 million in like the first month she was gone.
I didn't know that.
So she's obviously got something.
Yeah, she does. She's got a couple jugs. I mean, yeah. Or no, excuse me, not jugs, hubcaps. Anyway, but I mean, good wrestler. Okay, had a great storyline at in NXT with Gigi and JC. Would I like to see them come back? Absolutely. I think that faction was great. And I'd like to see her come back as a wrestler because she could she could wrestle and she did this very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Even with all the money you're making from your little sexy pictures, there's got to be something in the back of her mind being like, I need to go back and prove myself on the main roster or something.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. That
competitive spirit never really leaves somebody. So there's got to be something in her to be like, I need to go do this.
Here's the funny thing. I'm going to go old school. Okay. Real quick. We knew back in the day when a wrestler was done, when they put their boots in the middle of the ring. You never see that anymore. So you can't.
Triple H is the only one to do it kind of recently.
Exactly. You can't say never on any of the professional wrestlers we have today. And that includes Ric Flair.
Even then, people have put their boots in the middle of the ring and picked them up and went to a different promotion and wrestled some more.
Yeah.
Yo, Chief.
Yo, talk to me.
Jennifer wants to know if you got a new haircut.
I'm styling and profiling. I got a new barber.
Nice.
Yeah, I like him too. He does a good job. I got my summer haircut. I'm groomed up. Hey, good morning, Ronald. What's going on down in Florida down there, buddy?
The next rumor is Austin Theory is going to lose his United States title in or around SummerSlam.
Yeah.
As they think his title run has gotten stale, which he's been a champion for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Do you think a certain someone is going to win the championship?
Yeah.
I think after Money in the Bank and everybody crying online about LA Knight not winning Money in the Bank, Triple H said, be patient, everyone will get their time. Maybe LA Knight's time comes at SummerSlam.
And that's what I said part of last week. LA wasn't going to win it last week. I don't think I called it right who did win it, but I said LA wasn't going to win it. And I really feel LA, and what we have to remember is, one, when Triple H was wrestling, that was LA's first time in WWE.
Yeah.
Him and Hunter became good friends.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think Hunter's the one that's, really giving him the push. And I'm glad to see it, because if you listen to that crowd last week at Money in the Bank, he definitely got over.
Oh, yeah.
And, people were disappointed. You're right. We're disappointed that he didn't win. However, they put a twist on it and caught everybody off guard. So now we wait to see what's going to happen next. Yeah.
Speaking of Money in the Bank, let's go over some Money in the Bank results.
We can do this. I think Chief come out 5-2.
Yeah, you did real good on these things.
Yeah, I guessed at every one of them too.
Damian Priest won Money in the Bank. What do you think of Damian Priest being Mr. Money in the Bank?
Knowing, and again, I'll say it this way. We're very fortunate out here in Vegas to see not just our homegrown company, but we have Impact come in. We have what used to be ROH come in.
Yeah.
So we've had the good fortune of seeing other companies. I remember when Damien wrestled for ROH.
Yeah, Punishment Martinez.
Thank you. And so I'm okay with Damien winning it. I'm okay with it. But here's my question. With him and what's his name?
Finn Balor?
Finn Balor, with them having trouble right now, is there going to become a match between him and Finn Finn might win the Money in the Bank case? Is that a possibility?
It could be, but I think it's Damian Priest's time to shine, and I think eventually he's going to be world champion. I just don't know when or if they're going to split up Judgment Day to get to it. But Priest has worked his ass off. He made Bad Bunny look like $1 million.
Yep. Here's another one. Let me throw this one at you. Could it be time? Theory in my mind, Theory's going to lose. All right.
Yeah.
In my mind, eventually, the Intercontinental Champ's going to lose. Eventually, Roman's going to lose.
True.
So I think you're going to see an upward push. And I really think Damian Priest is going to become the new Intercontinental Champion.
I think Drew's going to be Intercontinental Champion.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so? Because I think if it does come down to where, as we know now, it's going to be Jay and it's going to be
We're definitely getting Jay and Roman.
Jay and Roman, and Jay beats Roman. I don't see Jay losing the belt right away. So if Damian goes after the championship, I think it'll take a little bit of time. But does Damian jump over the Intercontinental Champion right now?
Doesn't that kind of diminish the value of Money in the Bank if you can if we're starting to talk about, he's going to go after the Intercontinental Champion or the United States Champion or the NXT Champion, it's either diminishing the Money in the Bank or it's the champions are just so dominant that you're like, there's literally no chance of that happening.
Exactly.
So then you just got to go to plan B.
See, now let me ask you a question, a hypothetical. Is Money in the Bank good on either show?
Yeah.
Either Raw or so. I wonder if he could.
Priest could go to SmackDown and cash in on Roman, or he can go to cash in on Theory,
Seth?
or he's on the same show as Seth.
That'd be an interesting one. Damian and Seth.
Yeah.
See, unfortunately, I was hoping something was going to happen, and I'm going to hold off on it until the Chiefs rant, because that's going to be my rant today. So
okay.
I'll just hold off on that for now.
Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan recaptured their tag team championships after Shayna Baszler turned on Ronda. Who saw that one coming?
See, excuse me. To me, that makes for good wrestling. All right, those type of things right there. Damian Priest winning, Liv and Raquel coming back and winning.
I called that, by the way.
The twist, yes, you did. Yes, you did. The twist with Shayna turning on Ronda. Nobody saw that coming. That's great wrestling. And if people say, well, that didn't entertain me, I don't think you know what entertainment is then, folks. Because that's the kind of, in my mind, that's the kind of info and things that happen in the matches that keep us coming back. Because we don't know about it. You don't read it in the dirt sheets. And who the hell in the dirt sheets knows anything? So I'll just leave that at that.
There was a lot of fans with the exact expression of what the just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a lot of people on TikTok, like with their reactions.
Right.
Everyone's like, oh my God, Liv, pin her. It was great.
Let's see. Let me read this comment. Damian Priest is going to be a top babyface in the company. His charisma is off the charts, and we've only seen a small portion of it. Good comment, Mr. Sean Hyde. Glad to see you're in here. Are you still over in Cali on vacation, or are you back in Vegas now, brother?
I definitely see Damian Priest being a top star in WWE.
And then
That dude's got it.
And then Ronald says, Priest can even go down to NXT if he wants to.
That guy can go wherever.
You know, I look at it this way. I would love, and I'll say this about both companies, I would love to see the wrestlers be able to go from Raw to SmackDown to NXT and vice versa. And the same thing with AEW. Let their wrestlers travel too. It makes for great wrestling, makes for great storylines, and it keeps us guessing.
It was cool to see like some of the main roster people, like they're starting to do like character changes like down in NXT and bringing them back up. But when Seth Rollins went down to NXT, did you see the ratings that his match got a higher rating than Dynamite?
It got the one of them, and I forget which show it was this week, had the highest rating out of any of them on cable TV this past week. And I forget which show it was. If somebody knows and can help me out, I'd appreciate it. You know, Chief's getting old, you know. Let's see, we're back. Safe, Chief. Okay, good deal.
Gunther retained his Intercontinental Championship, defeating Matt Riddle. I think everyone saw that coming. But what happened next? Everyone is wondering whether he'd show up at All In or return to WWE at some point. Drew McIntyre finally returned to WWE.
He signed a new contract. Glad to see it.
Heck yeah, he should find that guy is like the one guy that should finally get like his just due.
We've been, you know what?
We've been harping on this since like day one, but for Drew to not win a championship in front of like 50, 60,000 people.
You know what the funny thing is too? And I've said this one, I want to, if they're not going to put a single title on Drew, put Sheamus and Drew together as the tag team and let them have a match with KO and Sammy.
Yeah.
And may the better team win.
I think we get a new Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam, honestly.
Do you really?
Yeah. I think Drew beats Gunther. Gunther!
And then Gunther goes up.
And Gunther goes after I don't even know because he's on the same show as.
Mm-hmm.
No, he can go after the world title. He's on Raw. Keep thinking he's still on SmackDown. I forgot there was a draft.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, he could go. That might be Seth and well, no, Drew beats Gunther at SummerSlam.
You come up with a scenario while we go to break. We'll talk about it after the break.
All right.
See you guys in a minute.
Infinite Wellness, a woman-owned family clinic in the heart of Las Vegas, specializing in regenerative medicine. Our stem cell and exome therapies have helped patients avoid surgery, repair joint tears, improve CTE symptoms, become pain-free, and continue activities they have grown to love. Whether you need to begin your health journey, stay at your peak, break through a barrier, repair your body, turn back the signs of aging, or boost your beauty, Infinite Wellness can help you achieve your goals and reach your potential.
D'Lo Brown, if you want to be part of one of the greatest podcasts on the world, Thoughts Count Anywhere, every Saturday, 9 to 11 Pacific. Now recognize that.
Hey everybody, Aaron Filson. I am standing with
Anthony Miller.
Hey, I have a quick question for you. What's the name of your favorite wrestling show?
Thoughts Count Anywhere.
What a convenience. Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. If this guy watches it, better watch it also on Facebook. This is your warlord of weird Sin Bodhi, and you are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here on Facebook, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Stay tuned. Do I look like I'm clowning around. Buddy, I'm Aaron Phillips, and I am with the legend. And Sabu, you were telling me earlier about a special wrestling show that you really like, and that is what? Thoughts Count Anywhere. That's a coincidence. The same show that runs Saturdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook. You better listen to the man to watch.
Aloha, this is April Hom, the Royal Hawaiian from Glow, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Ah, we're back.
So anyway, what I was saying was my thoughts are Cody's going to wrestle Brock, so that means that somebody's going to have to wrestle Seth.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been announced yet. Could it be that Gunther loses the belt before SummerSlam? All right. And then Gunther goes after the championship belt against Seth at SummerSlam. That's my scenario.
I think we get Gunther versus Seth at the next pay-per-view.
So I'm putting the cart before the horse. Okay.
Because I think they're going to give, like, Drew his somewhat of a moment. Like, it's a moment, but not, like, world title moment. But he's going to win the Intercontinental title in front of...
He deserves it.
Was it Ford Field they're at? Going to be at?
Where's that?
In Detroit?
Yeah. Ford Field. The new place that Ford Motor Company built.
Speaking of Cody, he defeated Dominic Mysterio, which I was actually shocked, like, Brock Lesnar did not come out and interfere in that match whatsoever, but Cody won in pretty dominant fashion, minus the little cheating parts of Dominic.
I'm hearing, and I'll throw it out, I'm hearing that Dominic and Mommy are going to break up. All right? And I think they should.
They got a good thing going. Why would you want them to break up?
Because I think Rhea deserves her time in the spotlight as the women's champion. She's doing, in my opinion, she's doing more with the faction and with Dominic than she is her own career now. And she's carrying the strap. Just my opinion.
I don't know. I think that match with her and Natalya on Raw shut up all the haters instantly.
That was a knockout. That was a great match for two great women, and I'll say that. But I think she proved there that she can carry a show too.
Yeah.
Her and Natty. And I think that's where they need to go. And Dominic needs to get on with his career. They've got Dominic over as a heel now. Okay.
He's like the most hated guy in wrestling.
Yeah.
Even MJF doesn't get, like, booed out of the building every time he grabs a microphone.
Well, but they've brought him along. Ray helped out, Finn and Damian, and and especially Rhea. Rhea's the big part of it. Now, I agree with you, but I think it's time for Rhea to get on with her career, and I think it's time that Dom goes out on his own and shows the world what he can really do in the wrestling ring as a heel.
Yeah.
Pull the Eddie Guerrero moves. What was the old saying? Lie, cheat, or steal?
Yep.
Well, there you go, man.
I kind of think they're better off in the group just because the way they play off of each other. And I think Rhea and Dirty Dom kind of need each other right now. I think Rhea's kind of just letting herself heal for a while. That's why she's been doing, like, all the manager stuff.
From the injuries.
But she can also do, and she's working on, like, her character work, doing the whole mommy thing. But she can also go out on Raw and just be like, look at that match. That was the best match on the show. And I can still do this, so keep the haters guessing.
Yep. No, and there again, I'll say it. That's where we, as wrestling fans, I don't, we have this every week.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's great. But you know what? I still like to be surprised.
Me too.
And as you say, take my money.
I miss the days of like old wrestling when like you would just watch it like, oh my god, like this person came back. Now you kind of like know.
It's like when Cena came in the ring over in England. Nobody expected that. And from what I understand, not a lot of the wrestlers knew he was in England.
True.
So, he got a good pop. And that to me, that makes for even better storylines.
Yeah.
So
even like trying to be a smart wrestling fan, like before the podcast, I would like read the dirt sheets just to like kind of like see like the drama backstage, but not like really. I didn't really want to know a lot because I always like being surprised. But then like once we started this and I had to like write the run sheets and stuff, I like really read the run sheet, like read the dirt sheets, and it's kind of crazy how they'd be like, "This is gonna happen." Just kidding, that's not gonna happen. Oh, by the way, update, and they just like contradict themselves constantly. So when you read like all these like other wrestlers like podcasts, and they're like, the dirt sheets are full of shit, and there's wrestling fans like, no, they're not. And they're like, this is coming from like actual people in the business that they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Take it for their word.
Yep.
Because they contradict themselves on like an hourly basis. It's wild. Because I'll write this run sheet like through the week. And I'll be like, oh, that's a good story. Maybe we'll talk about this. And then I'll check like later in the day. And they've already been like, oh, no, we're just joking about that part. That's not happening. I'm just like, how did you figure this out in like an hour?
Hey, I want to throw one at you. I want to get your opinion on something. Sure. And I don't see it on our run sheet, so I'm going off script for a minute. Down at NXT this week, the Creed brothers lost to the faction down there that the Rock's daughter's part of.
Yeah.
The stipulation was if the loser is out of the wrestling business.
We'll see them on Monday Night Raw.
That's what I wanted to ask you. And but there again, I didn't see Sammy and Kev last night.
The funniest thing that came out of that NXT match is that the other two guys asked for their release from the company for real.
Yep.
And then Sean was like, hey, you guys are going to go over.
Yep.
So you guys ain't even going to be able to leave.
Exactly. So Sean knows what he's doing down there.
Oh, yeah.
So
speaking of Cena, he did make a surprise appearance on Money in the Bank, which nobody saw coming.
Yeah, he looked.
And at the end of the thing, he teased about WrestleMania going to London. Do you think that's a real possibility?
You know what? Again, I read something in the dirt sheets this morning saying that AEW sold 75,000 tickets for that show over in London.
Yeah.
So
WrestleMania would sell out instantly.
So if that in fact is true, okay, I don't see any problem WrestleMania being in London at all, because we know people come from around the world to see WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee a problem at all with WrestleMania going to London.
That's like even when I talk about like WrestleMania coming to Vegas and everyone's like, Vegas isn't a big like wrestling town. It ain't gonna sell out like, because we didn't sell out like SummerSlam and all that. But I was like, WrestleMania is a destination event. So like it'll sell out before they even announce one match on the card.
I'll tell you what's going to be the interesting point. Your population on wrestling shows is only as good as the wrestlers you put on that show. Okay. And what I mean by that, folks, and I think y'all understand this, if you put all mid-carders on the show and you have one main event, you're not going to sell out. At least in my opinion, you're not. You have to put at least 2 or 3 high-valued matches on a 10-match card in order to put butts in the seats. That's just the way it is.
For
Okay.
most events, yes. WrestleMania,
Oh.
it's just WrestleMania.
2 days of WrestleMania. No, and that's what I'm saying. I totally agree with because I'm looking at the SmackDown we had out here.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to say it. We have a friend who wrestles in WWE. Y'all know it.
We got like 3 or 4 now.
Yeah, we do. But Karrion Kross, he got his start out here professionally wrestling. Okay, you would think that a WWE show, SmackDown, is coming to Las Vegas. That you would put him on the show because that's going to put butts in the seats. All right. Well, guess what?
He was in a hoodie.
He was in a hoodie. He did come up to see friends and say hello, and which we didn't expect, but we loved it anyway. But that's what I'm saying. Common sense prevails. If they would have put him on the show and they would have announced it the week prior or the 2 weeks prior, there'd have been more there'd have been more butts in the seats.
True.
Just
You're getting riled up.
I'm getting there. I got a good Chiefs rant.
It's about
today.
that time.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready to get pissed?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I got a good one.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment, the Chiefs rant.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material condition Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so.
You're on, buddy.
Hey, good morning, folks. It's the chief. My 3 minutes of fame is now 2:58. I was really hyped up. I had a good scenario, thought this all out, and it all got blown to hell. And I'm going to tell you about it. The bloodline, as we all know after last night, Mr. Roman Reigns, he's got a match against Jey Uso coming up. Well, I think Roman's going to lose it. He's going to lose the belt. He's going to go on vacation for a while. All right. Then I think at the same show, Seth Rollins is going to lose his belt. And he's going to go on vacation for a while. All right. So that was 2/3 of my strategy. I was on it. I was psyched. I was ready to go. Take my money. I'm going to the show. But here's the one thing. Jon Moxley's contract was coming up to expire. And yesterday, my thought got blown out of the water. Jon Moxley re-signed a new contract through 2027 with AEW, a 5-year contract. Or no, 2028, 5-year contract. So what I thought was going to be my breaking news for my wrestling fans out there, that the faction was going to get together and they were going to come back to WWE and create havoc. Well, shit, it went down the tubes. So I'm really disappointed in one way, but in another way, Mr. Moxley's gotten over in AEW.
I wonder if he bled something.
Even though he bleeds too much. You're stealing my thunder, man. And then, Roman got over as a champion, and Seth got over as a champion. And you know what? If you go back and you look, 4 years ago, when they were the faction?
5 years ago.
5 years ago, they weren't really wearing any belts. That's how far they've come in 5 years, folks. So, I had a nice theory. I had a nice idea. I was going to bring it to my fans today. Well, guess what? I'm very sorry that it got blown out of the water. That's the Chiefs rant today, over and out.
You really think Jey Uso is going to win the title at SummerSlam?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think for a while, I think Jimmy and Jay need to break up for a little while. And, you know, maybe Jimmy needs a little vacation. I don't know. But I think Jay's going to beat him. I think, and I really think that Roman needs a vacation. Okay.
He shows up like every other week. What do you need a vacation from?
I think physically there's something there that isn't out in the dirt sheets about his health that I think he needs a vacation. Maybe, you know, couple months, 3 months, you know, just to step away and you know, spend some time with the 5 children and his beautiful wife and, you know, just relax a little bit. Because let's face it, between him and the Usos, a lot of the shows, they've been carrying it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I think they need a vacation. My opinion. Not that I want to see them leave, but I think they need I think they need to step away for a little bit. And the one person we haven't talked about who I hope is coming back in the near future, and if he's not back by next month, I'll probably be talking to his dad and really find out what's what. Is Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You know, I think Randy can pick the flag up and run with it for a few months until some of the fellas get back. You know, Drew's back now, so that's good. Yeah. Sheamus is there. You know, start pushing Kevin, start pushing the fella who had the match with Edge last night. Push him a little bit. Get the boys from the tag team from NXT up, the Creed brothers. You know, when's Carmelo coming up?
Sure. That could be a while, but if like a major star was to get injured, WWE has such a big roster that they can plug anybody into that situation if they need to.
And I'll tell you, I'll give you 2 names who I want to see win the tag belts, if and when Kevin and Sammy drop them. All right, we used to see them on NXT.
Pretty Deadly.
Ciampa.
Oh, Gargano.
They deserved their push.
Oh yeah.
As many years as they've put in, I didn't realize Ciampa's got over 15 years in the business. Yeah. I didn't realize that. And from what I understand, Gargano's got that much too. So they've paid their dues.
Oh yeah.
When's their push?
I don't even think they deserve like a tag team push. Those guys deserve like at least United States and Intercontinental titles.
They're a hell of a tag team.
If not more.
If I remember right, and I'm trying to think, if I remember right, when I went to the Palms and saw the NXT show, I don't remember if they wrestled single matches or they wrestled as a tag team. I think they wrestled as a tag team.
They were single matches.
Were they single?
I know Gargano was at least. I don't remember. No, Ciampa was there. Yeah, they were single.
Well, you know Chiefs got the Halfheimers, man. I don't remember.
Because they broke up like a couple years before that.
Good tag team, though.
Yeah?
Good tag team. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, let me do a little business here real quick. August 26th and 27th, Sports Cards, Toys, and Collectibles Show. Sam's Town Hotel and Casino. August 26th, 27th, put on by Mr. Scott Hosey and Power Play Sports Collectibles. We did the show the last time out there. Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be there again. I actually did the show myself. It was a great show. Scott puts on, takes care of the people, the vendors and everything. So folks, come on out. That's August 26th and 27th. And then I give you a little heads up, a little breaking news for your Christmas shopping. November 4th and 5th, Scott and Power Play Sports and Collectibles are going to be coming back to Sam's Town for a second show. So there you go, folks.
I have another thing from Power Play, but first we're going to go to break to keep the suspense a little bit. But we'll be right back.
This is Jeff Bearden, the Giant Warrior. Join me on Saturday mornings to listen to the best wrestling podcast on the internet, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Tune in to WWDB-TV to be able to catch this wonderful show and stuff. I know I'll be here every Saturday to watch myself.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, a.k.a. Marty the Moth, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Stephen Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Davari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the Essential Character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Boing.
All right, we're back, but we're also from Power Play Sports. Stanley Cup champion Golden Knights, Keegan Colasar, is going to be at Power Play Sports and Collectibles show.
What?
Not at the show, at his store.
At the store.
Monday, July 24th from 6 to 7. A few tickets remain, so you better get them now.
Because the chief says so.
And where do you get them?
At
PowerPlaySportsCards.com. Let's
go.
wrap up Money in the Bank real quick. Io Sky wins Money in the Bank for the women.
I called that one.
You definitely did. It was kind of good the way it ended with like handcuffs in the middle of the ladder. Though they couldn't get like Bailey or Becky couldn't like get up the ladder anymore.
I got to say one thing. Creative writing is getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting better. It's not there yet, but it's getting better.
Seth Rollins retained the World Heavyweight Championship, beating Finn Balor after a little distraction from Damian Priest in a really good match.
You know, I thought they both beat the crap out of each other, and I really thought Damian was going to turn the briefcase in.
So did I.
But didn't happen. So, and then we got the Usos defeated Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. And Mr. Reigns got pinned.
After 3.5 years, he finally got pinned.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
It was kind of like, not to get into the whole dirt sheets thing, but if like you watch Roman get pinned, you can see him mouth, "Hey Jay, I love you."
And you know, here's the thing. We had all said that. I think we all said that Solo and Roman were going to get beat.
Yeah. Everyone thought Solo was going to take the pin, though.
Yeah. But it was Roman.
Yeah.
There's another good twist. We didn't expect that.
True.
Didn't expect that at all. But that's what happened. But you know, I want to tell you something. I have a tendency to collect the figures.
Yeah.
Well, I went online yesterday. There's a new Solo Sikoa figure coming out.
Yeah. It's too skinny.
Guess what?
Huh.
It's on freaking back order.
Yeah.
Yeah, back order. That's
popular.
That's how popular our boy's getting.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know, I'm glad for him. I'm glad for him.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad to see it happen. There's another young man that we know who got his start out here in, or I should say, his push to the next level, which is WWE from out here in Vegas.
I think you skip a couple levels if you go from the FSW Nevada State Champion to being at the main event of WrestleMania. Within quick order of each other.
Yeah. And there's another one that we know. And then we have our young lady that's there also.
Yeah. Zoe Stark.
Zoe Stark. You know, so we've had the good fortune of meeting, getting to know, and becoming friends with these people. And you know, I have to tell you, I got a nice picture of Solo, and he didn't put to Chief. You know what he put? To Oos.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm part of the family.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, whenever I take like some people to like independent shows and stuff like that, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go take a picture with so and so. And they'd be like, oh, they're not in WWE. I don't want a picture with them. And then, like, a couple years down the line, be like, hey, remember this picture? Now that's Solo Sikoa. And be like, oh, I had the chance to freaking talk to them, and I didn't do it. And I was like, you never know who's going to make it big in this business.
Well,
some people it's kind of obvious, but other ones you never know.
Our friend Chris Bay.
Yeah.
There's another one with Impact. Jay Vidal's the latest.
Yeah.
Impact. Kenny King. Impact. So, you know, we've had the great fortune of, and I mean this sincerely, we've had a great fortune of meeting a lot of wrestlers that are on the main rosters now for whatever company. And it's exciting, you know, like last night, and I'll just say last night seeing, and I'm going to call him as I know, seeing Kevin in Madison Square Garden, wrestling Madison Square Garden, knowing that Karrion Kross is from there and gets to wrestle in Madison Square Garden, that's got to be one of the highlights of his career. Has to be.
Definitely. Let's pick some topics and go over some real quick. We got like 5 minutes left.
Wow.
Brock Lesnar returned on Raw to confront Cody, even though Cody got the upper hand in the confrontation. I was kind of excited when Cody came out, when Seth wanted a new challenger. I thought we were finally going to get that match, even though Cody has gone on record saying he would be honored to be World Heavyweight Champion, but the story has to be finished with the title Dusty never got, which is the WWE Championship that Roman holds.
Yes. You know, and honestly, answer me. Are you excited that there's going to be another Cody and Brock match?
If it's going to end like the... Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it just because of, like, they said there's going to be, like, a stipulation, and I hope it's, like, a bull rope match, or if they bring, like, the dog collar match back, that'd be kind of interesting.
You know what? I'm not interested in the match. I'm just not. And I think it's time for Lesnar to go home. And I think it's time for Cody to get on with his career. And I definitely don't think Cody's career is anywhere near over.
Oh, no.
But I really want to see, and I agree with you. I want to see Cody and Seth. That's a match I want to see, and I want to see Cody and Roman.
I want to see they said the rematch is going to happen at WrestleMania 40, but things can change 100 times before then.
If it happens at WrestleMania 40, is that going to mean that Roman's going to keep the belt until WrestleMania 40?
I think so.
Oh, okay. And I respect your knowledge of the wrestling business. And if
I'm like everybody else, it's an educated guess.
Okay.
At best.
I think, that would be a match that would take, that would definitely fill.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Big E did an interview and said there's no timetable for his return, but he feels like somebody that never broke his neck. He still has his strength. He's able to walk. He's still able to bend over, touch his toes. He said life is good, but with the C1 injury, it has to heal like to a certain point before you can even consider stuff like wrestling.
No.
So I hope at some point he returns, but after this long, I hope he doesn't have to wait like 7-8 years like Edge did to return. But
I want to see Big E return sometime. I think he is a great entertainer and belongs in the ring. But until he's cleared by the best doctors that he can get and the WWE can pay for, he doesn't need to go back in the ring.
True. I think Ricochet is finally going to get his chance at like a big push. There's going to be a confrontation between him and Logan Paul, which might not seem like a big deal for like SummerSlam, but anytime a wrestler can get like one of like these big celebrities over and make them look like $100, make $1 million, they ended up with like a huge push at the end of it.
Didn't I just see something yesterday or something said that Logan Paul's going to have a match at SummerSlam?
Yeah, with Ricochet most likely.
So
if Ricochet can make Logan Paul look good, like Damian Priest made
Bad
Bunny look like $1 million, Damian Priest wins Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins made Logan Paul look like $1 million, wins the World Heavyweight title. It's about damn time Ricochet gets his credit. That guy's been working his ass off for years and years and years.
Yep.
Making everyone go, holy shit, for years and years. The guy deserves the world of wrestling.
So Survivor Series is going to be in Chicago, huh?
Why does Chicago get like 10 events every year?
I don't know.
Between AEW and WWE, I swear to God, they're at like the United Center.
It's
every other week.
It's a shame. It's a shame, and I say this with all sincerity. They're going to Chicago for Survivor Series. One of the best teams that used to be in Survivor Series was LOD.
Hell yeah.
It's a shame that they can't be there.
True. They also announced when they announced Survivor Series, they announced like 37 more dates. And they hit the West Coast. And like, here's Vegas. And they're like all around everywhere else. They ain't coming here. No. Of course not.
But you know what I think hurts us? We got football. We've got women's basketball. We've got soccer. We've got hockey. The only thing missing is basketball and baseball.
True that. We have like one AEW topic and we got to go because we have like 1 minute left. Diamante, after being wrestling for 3 years in AEW, finally decided to give her a full-time contract. Congratulations, Diamante.
Yes. And Jim Ross, get better.
Definitely. He has no timetable for his return, but after like falling on his head and all that kind of stuff, he needs some time to heal.
And you know what? It'd be great to see Santana and Ortiz back together.
Heck yeah. Those guys are an amazing tag team.
Great tag team.
Pop culture real quick. NBA Summer League is in town, which means Wemby is in town. The number 1 draft pick in the NBA. I've seen like videos of him around like Aria. That guy is so big. He sticks out like the biggest sore thumb.
7'3".
He's 7'5".
7'5".
But when he goes like this, his wingspan is 8 feet long. And this guy can hit 3-pointers.
And I'm gonna say something. Okay, these kids are rookies that are playing at the Thomas and Mack for their professional teams. All right. There is nobody, and I mean nobody, tickets for that game yesterday were $190 to start with.
Yeah.
That's BS.
It is, but they said he was like the biggest prospect in since LeBron.
No, he is. I won't take that away from him. But what I'm saying is they're pricing people like you and me out of going to see this young man play and other players there.
I'm sure the rest of the games are going to be cheap. That was just his debut.
$190, and it was sold out.
If you want to see like any other summer league game, they're like $20.
And it was sold out.
Yeah.
For that game. So
apparently, if you see him around town, don't tap him on the shoulder or anything, because
no,
Spurs security will probably beat the shit out of you or backhand you like Britney Spears. That was. I've always heard like team security was bad, but Jesus.
Yep.
I think the guy's like 7'5", can take care of himself. You don't need a little guy like trying to backhand your fans.
And
I kind of want to go down there just to get hit by the guy so we can fund the show we can fund the whole studio by the San Antonio Spurs.
I'll go with you.
I read.
We'll double team it.
I read an article.
I'll stand on your shoulders.
I read an article earlier this morning, and it was about the Oakland Athletics coming to Las Vegas. And evidently, there's a study going on right now, and there's 2 professional teams that don't feel that Oakland should come here. One of them's the Philadelphia Phillies, and I'm sure that's got to do with Bryce Harper. And the other one's the Chicago Cubs, which I'm sure has got to do with the former Mr. Bryant, who used to be with them.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple teams that really don't want the A's to come here. And I'm going to be honest with you, folks. We've got to wrap this up. We're 2 minutes over, and so I'm going to make it real quick. I feel a lot of folks out here in this city that don't want the Oakland Athletics here. And I'll just leave it at that.
Whatever brings the New York Yankees out here that I want to see, I don't mind. But I think a lot of the teams will have like that first year thing like the Knights had. All the away teams are going to come to Vegas, get messed up, realize that they got to play a game tomorrow, and then the Knights whip their ass. And then the next year they come and they were like, you guys are staying in your hotel rooms and there's a curfew.
And we don't tell them that they need to stay hydrated.
Yeah. Let them play in the middle of the summer in 120 degrees.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great week. It was good to be joined by everybody. Catch us in 72 hours on the Roku channel, WWDB TV. I swear that's a tongue twister every time I say it.
I'm good, Aaron.
I'm surprised I don't mess it up. Aaron should be back next week. He's enjoying himself in Lake Havasu. He deserves it. I need a freaking vacation myself.
Yeah, Aaron, and
we'll take it when Aaron gets back.
Enjoy it, Aaron. You've earned it, and just make sure you don't get too sunburned. That's all.
Everybody have a good, safe week. Chief, you got any last words?
Don't be stupid. If you're going to drink, have one drink, then have a bottle of water, then have another drink and another bottle of water. Don't make Matt have to work his ass off down on Fremont Street with dehydration.
I don't mind his good stories. Just stupid people. But as Aaron says, what the hell is this? I fucking be kind to everybody. Why? Because that's all we got. See you guys next week.
I
wrote the shirt.